What's up, BetaClimbers? Welcome to YouTube's favorite underground climbing channel. So in one of my episodes, in my early episodes, I was rappelling off of a single tree and someone said, Josh, are you mad rappelling off of a single anchor? Well, in this episode, I'm gonna explain a couple things. Why trees are great anchors and a technique you could use to attach to a tree to maintain almost 100% of your rope strength. We all know that when you tie a knot in a rope, you're decreasing the rope strength by like 50% or something. In this technique, you can maintain almost 100%. So let's get right into it. Okay, so first off, let me get you guys in a little closer. A tree, or what's known as a BFT, a big freaking tree, is an amazing anchor. A 10 inch tree is about 40,000 pounds strong to pull that thing over. And when you get to something that's as wide as this, 20 plus inches, you're talking well over 100,000 pounds to pull a tree over. And your ropes and your climbing gear is only like 20 kilonewtons. Bolts are like 20 kilonewtons. You know, this bad boy ain't going anywhere, okay? Ain't going anywhere. So you can be rest assured, as long as you look up and you find a healthy tree, that it's not going anywhere, okay? You may as well be connected directly to the earth. And if all else fails, there's a surefire test to do on each tree to make sure it's not going anywhere. Yeah, so this puppy isn't going anywhere soon. Check out the root system, make sure it's healthy. Look up, if it's got green leaves, it's alive, and that's what you want to check for a tree. Now let's get straight into the rope technique. We got our handy dandy rope bag over here. And what we're gonna do is we're gonna tie, the first step is you find yourself a BFT, okay? A big freaking tree, and we got one right here. So then we need our climbing rope and start to set up our anchor. Now, whenever you're anchoring off a tree, it's a really good idea, especially if it's something that can move back and forth on the tree, to protect the tree, because right under the bark is what's called the phylum. I think that's how you pronounce it. But that's the layer right under the bark, and that's where the tree actually gets all its nutrients, and it's actually right under there. If you debark a tree, just take off a couple inches, a ring right around the tree, you'll kill the tree. So you don't want to damage what's right under the bark there. So it's a really good idea to wrap something around. And if you don't buy a tree guard, you can always grab your wife's, what are these, dolphins? You could grab your wife's dolphin towel and wrap it around there. And that makes a great protection. And you can pat it up. So let me get this over here and tape it around, and then cut over to when I'm messing with the rope. Okay, we got our state-of-the-art tree protector, and now we got our rope. And all we're gonna do is just wrap it around 3 times. Okay, so all I simply did was just wrap the rope around 3 times. No knots, no special wraps or anything like that. Just ran it around 3 times. You can see I could just throw this end over here, and this ain't going anywhere, and this is slacked. So that's why it's called a tensionless tree anchor. There's no tension over here. And this could be a way you might want to set up a top rope system, because I got a comment once that said, oh, if you take a fall on that static line, it's gonna be Brokeback Mountain. So I'm gonna try to answer that a little bit more too. But this is gonna allow, theoretically, to slip a little bit if you take a fall. I think you'd have to have like about 600 pounds of force to have this slip a little bit or something. I'm not quite sure. But what you're gonna wanna do with this end, obviously you're not gonna just leave this end and rappel off this line. You could either do 2 options. You could tie a figure 8 here like this, like so. Grab your favorite locking veneer and clip it straight to the rope like so. And there could be slack in this right here, and it ain't going anywhere, okay? You could even tie the knot directly into the rope there. Then there might be an argument of rope on rope friction, but I don't think you're really gonna get much of that at all. So You can use a beaner or you could tie it right onto there. As long as there's friction here, you're not worried about this thing sliding back and forth like that. Okay, so that's about all there is to that. You just need a state-of-the-art tree guard, 3 wraps around, and some slack on this side, and you're good. Now, if you're rappelling or whatever, you're probably gonna have to have in the back of your mind, if my rope slips a little bit, it's because I got slack over here. If I fall down a little bit, it's just this thing tightening up on me. So you shouldn't be too worried, but you have to have in the back of your mind that it might slip down a little. Also when you're Jumaring up or whatnot. So it might not be the, you know, I never really use it. I use just I just wrap it around and do maybe a figure 8 here anyway. I'm not too worried about decreasing the rope strength, because even if you decrease the rope strength by half, you're still well within the minimum breaking strength of anything. So you're still within the limits. There's like a 5-to-1 safety factor still, even in the rope, even with knots tied in it. I'll show you another technique I've been thinking about, and I wanted to experiment with it. So maybe I'll try it out right here and see, you can tell me what you guys think about it. So this here, guys, I've been thinking about experimenting with. I haven't yet, but I decided to post this up and maybe I could get your input on what you guys think about this. So obviously with the frictionless tree anchor, you're actually getting a lot more strength, and you're getting some maybe some slippage. So if you took a fall, it would act as almost like a shock absorber. But I've been thinking maybe this technique here I'm about to show you might add a lot more shock absorbingness to the system. So first thing I'm doing is tying a water knot with this webbing around here, and we're just going to do this. It's a water knot. If you haven't seen a water knot, you don't know what a water knot is, I got tons of videos on all these knots. Almost every single climbing knot I have a video on. So there's my water knot over there. We're going to grab one end here, okay, and this here is called a screamer. And what it is basically a shock absorber. And I'm thinking if I attach that here, like so, I have my tensionless anchor right here. And then I have this screamer attached to the Petzl rescue ascender holding that. So if I rappel off of this here and I took a fall, let me zoom you out a little bit. Good, looks like you're in frame. So if I had something like this and I took a fall while doing my rope soloing, in theory, if it was a really bad fall, this would open up and I wouldn't get as hurt or damaged, because this is a static line, doesn't have any bounce in it. So yeah, because this is a static line, it doesn't have any give to it. This would open up, and then there'd be some slip in this. This would open up, and then it would save my ass. But I also think if this got tension and untension, this thing might move around a bit. So I'm thinking instead of maybe the rescue ascender, maybe just a knot would be better. Now you're saying, Josh, that's kind of counterproductive because you just did that whole thing and now you're putting a knot. Well, even if you put a knot into the system and you did a figure 8 here and you put a knot, there's still plenty of strength in this rope to protect you. So I would say a butterfly would be, an Alpine Butterfly right here would be a great knot to use, just like that. Catch this puppy there. And then bam, of course you could have some more slack here. That way this thing could open up a lot more. And then there you actually have, you're anchored to a tree. You have some more give in your static line in case something really crazy was to happen. You were to take a fall. This would open up and you get more shock absorbing into the system. And I think that's a pretty cool way. Other than that, you could have this attached directly to you, but I'm thinking this might get in the way. So what do you guys think about this here? What do you think about that? I think that's pretty cool. I might try that out next time I do some rope soloing, whatever. I wouldn't want to open these up. I won't want to take a lot of falls on these because, you know, these do cost money. So I guess that wraps it up for this episode. Get it? Wraps it up, tree wrap the rope around. Anyway, I guess that wraps it up for this episode. Let me know what you guys think about this whole system and everything I'm talking about. If you have any questions, you don't understand what the heck I'm talking about, leave it down below There's plenty of awesome climbers that subscribe to this channel. They'll answer all your questions. I'll answer your questions. I'm really good at answering my comments. So I'll see you guys in the next episode. Josh Prey climbing out of here.